Well, you didn't come in very clear for me on that. What did you say?
We have Mindy Ashby with us. She is the new Suzanne. If she can do attendance.
Okay, can you do that then, please?
Yes. Okay, do we have Elise,
Here.
Annie,
Here.
Bonnie McGregor,
Here.
David Haber?
I'm here, but I can't see myself.
We
John
see
Hughes?
you, David.
You can see me?
Yes. Yes.
John Hughes,
Here.
Karen?
Not here.
Aldridge, not here. Linda Schellenberg? Not here? No. Margaret?
Here.
Robert Rooney? No. Ron Rubel?
Yes, I'm here. Rubel, that would be.
Okay.
Okay.
Marilyn?
Here.
Benoit? Here. And Heidi Miller?
Here.
Okay.
So it appears that we do not have a quorum.
Oh,
Geez.
We have 7, one short of a quorum by
Oh.
my count. Yeah. Well, uh, uh, at, at this point, I guess we can proceed with a short meeting here. There's certain things that we can't take votes on where we need a quorum. Are there any changes for the agenda as published?
This is Annie. I think Karen had emailed that she was coming. Do we want to send her an email or give her a call to see if she can join us?
I
Um,
already did.
Okay. Thanks, Marilyn. Of course, you are always right on top of things.
Not always, but this time I tried.
Mhm.
I anticipated Linda as well, so we'll see. They might come in.
The agenda looks good to me. We need a motion for that.
Well, we don't have a quorum. So
Yeah,
we can
okay.
proceed,
That's
we
true.
can proceed as is.
Is somebody trying to contact Karen?
I already did, Ron.
And no response or
No response.
no response? Okay. So we'll wait on approval of the minutes of the prior meeting. And there nobody I can see from the public, is that correct? I,
No one from the public. That is correct.
okay. So we have no public comment. We'll move to action and discussion items. And Marilyn, do you have items to discuss with us?
Marilyn stepped out for just a second. So she'll be back in a moment.
Oh. How's the sound for everybody? Is it coming through clearly?
It
Yes.
is for me.
yes.
Hmm.
It is for us. You guys, yeah. I think we're just double checking to see if Linda or Karen has called in. So hang tight, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Bolliger is trying to get in, so we'll just start and then I'll keep looking for her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's sent a message that she's trying to get in, so we'll work with her a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, let's get started. Are we ready to go jump into director's comments?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, we're at the summer meeting schedule.
So looking at our quorum issues, looking at the way our monthly meeting falls around holidays, we only have to meet 6 times a year. So we have some flexibility if we aren't going to have a quorum or if it's going to be one where we are going to struggle to have a full meeting discussion. We have the ability to reschedule, or we also have the ability just to skip a month. And I would actually recommend that we skip July. We have another new member coming in. That would give us the month of July for me to meet with them personally and get them do an orientation with our new person. And then we could include them in the next meeting. Would there be any thoughts to that or discussion?
Which new person are you mentioning here?
It's not yours. Her name is Diane. She's a senior from one of the neighborhoods.
Great.
So we do have a senior that will be joining us, has been approved. We are just in the onboarding process now. And if we get the partner from the hospital situated, I can get them as a part of an orientation and get them looked in and have them ready to go.
Yeah,
But it kind of depends on what people's schedule looks like and the value of meeting.
well, summertime's a busy time for a lot of people, so and you can only plan so far in ahead, and then things pop up. Okay. Well, Marilyn, why don't we proceed with whatever business we can and hope that Karen eventually can get through to us.
I am free to meet that first Tuesday in July, but I think it's probably wise maybe not to have it just because I think that is when a lot of people go on vacations. It's just my thought.
And I'm with Margaret, the same thing. I'm free but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I wouldn't be. But That's, I'm not sure at this point.
So as far as deciding that the scheduling does not require, it's not a vote. The group can just have consensus of what works for them for July and August. We can proceed.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So at this point, there would be no meeting in July, but a meeting in August.
Well, typically in August, we do our retreat and
Oh,
we typically do it on an off day.
okay. Okay. So more to come on that. Just watch
Yeah.
emails and things.
Yeah, I was thinking, it really works nicely for us to do it during our 2-week closure. Because then
Okay.
we're not rushed and we can set aside, several hours to do our orientation, our retreat. Any trainings that we might have. We're still trying to do an ethics training with the legal department. That would be
Okay.
a time I could do that. So I'm looking at the last 2 weeks of August, if that will work for everyone for our annual retreat.
Well, I'm pretty sure it would work for me.
Same here.
Would work for me on certain days.
So how about this? How about we cancel July? If we're all in consensus with that,
Okay.
and we can all do a head nod or a nay. If someone really wants to meet, you need to tell me now. And then for August, how about I send out a poll, a doodle poll, and try to get a date that's going to work for the most, the last 2 weeks of August.
Okay.
Sure.
How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Now I'll just have to find someone to help me do a doodle poll, but we'll do it.
Uh, the the two new people that were maybe coming on or are in the process of coming on to the commission. Marilyn, that's not going to change our quorum requirement amount. If I recall, that's a
No.
fixed number in the bylaws.
That's correct. 8 is 8. So the number has been identified as 8. So having a couple of more people will help us.
Yeah.
It'll improve our odds.
Okay. Well, then moving on to information reports from Marilyn.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my staff this morning. Each of them have a short report, and then I will wrap up at the end. I had a couple of questions that were posed to me that I want to make sure I get to during my time, but I will end with that. I'll start with Kanoi.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am excited to report to you folks today that we have 632 members currently in our fitness center. So that's pretty exciting. That's the most we've had. As we approach summer, we do start to see a little bit of a drop in folks on the daily average use. Just folks being on vacation, caring for grandchildren, things like that. But I was excited to see that we do have a large number of members. I would say approximately 85% of those members are membership, like insurance reimbursements. So only 74 of people are a private pay right now. So that kind of tells you who our group is that we're working with. All of our classes will be going through the summer. We have a couple of days here or there that we might have a couple of cancellations, but otherwise things are going well. We actually have quite a few healthy living lectures coming up that you may have seen. We've partnered with Natural Grocers over this past year, and we've seen that they're only able to offer these lectures on Saturdays. And so we're able to kind of grow some of those Saturday dates a little bit. June 8th, we have a Digestion 101 coming up. June 11th, we'll be partnering with Alzheimer's Awareness, with Alzheimer's Association. June is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so it seemed timely to do a lecture with them. This is going to be a great lecture. We're also going to have a cooking demo after the lecture, so that folks can kind of take some of the tools that they've learned and focus on the DASH diet and make a fun little
And what
rice
day
bowl.
is that?
11 from 10 to noon.
Okay.
And then June 22nd, we have an Inflammation 101 class going on. So that's kind of what's going on in June. All of our healthy living lectures, we do ask that you just give me a call up in the fitness center so that I can get an idea of how many folks are planning to attend. But I will say we're averaging about 10 people. In some of these cases, about 20. So that's exciting to see that these lectures are bringing folks in that maybe hadn't come in before. Otherwise, I do have a new staff member that started this week. Her name is Alina Fink, and she will be covering kind of more to give us backup for our fitness instructors. She'll also be helping up at the fitness desk here and there and in different areas that we need her. I'm really excited to have her start.
Excellent. Cool.
This is not a new position. It's just one we did not fill for the last since COVID.
Oh,
Hmm.
Did fill it until we, one, the numbers were back up, but also to fully understand what we needed that position for and just to make sure that we were doing the best we can with positions we get. So we have reached a place where we must have it. And we
Can we, that 600 some odd members that there are currently, would you happen to know how that compares to last year?
Yeah, so last year I had around 500 members.
Oh,
That was like, whoa. So we've increased another 130 members. Which is kind of exciting because generally I would be excited to report to you in January and February because that's when I get a lot of new members. But for it to be June and seeing this high of numbers, that's kind of encouraging.
you know, in addition to that, I think it's encouraging because when you have a new organization, a shiny new penny in town like the YMCA, you worry that there could be an impact on your membership as people are settling back into where they're gonna, feel most comfortable. We just haven't felt as a matter of fact, we haven't felt the change. We actually grew with that additional resource in our community. So I think that's a really great sign that seniors are turning to us for our intentional programming. They still recognize that we are here for seniors and in particular our program delivery. And I think that's important, kind of an important thing to note. We built the, I don't reminder if you didn't know, we built the gym for 300 members. When we were thinking square footage and equipment, we were thinking 300 people would be our success gauge. So we have doubled our success gauge, which I think is amazing. Well, let's move to Heidi. She has some great updates on our travel program.
Yeah, hi everyone. So May marked the launch of our volunteer driver program. And I'm really happy with, we have goals of 14 volunteer drivers and 14 riders or errand recipients for the whole year. And currently onboarded 5 drivers and 5 riders or errand recipients. So that's pretty exciting. And 1 month where we have a good number to work with. It's given us a chance to test our assisted rides program, which is the online scheduling tool It also has given us some insight into who's drawn to these services. We had a gentleman who contacted us. He's a recent retiree. He's a solo ager, and he's trying to catch up on his medical. And we had a colonoscopy scheduled, and everyone knows that you need to have someone stay on site or nearby for that procedure. So that was really an interesting call. And then we also have a recipient who is she lives in within a kind of a community, but they don't have designated drivers there, so she really is shut in. And all she wanted originally was a ride to a medical appointment. And then she realized that she could come to the center and socialize and do bingo, which thrilled her. And then we found out that she had a long career in with computers and response customer services. So she'd like to volunteer with us. She lit up like a Christmas tree.
We lost audio.
Heidi cut out. Yeah. Fortunately.
We heard up to she found out she could volunteer with us.
Right.
Volunteer with us. So this one recipient found transportation, found socialization, and volunteerism. And that's just another first step of finding out what kind of impact this program can offer. So I'm just really excited about it and wanted to share that with you. Then we also, in May, we've scheduled 17 events already for our summer Where's the Wow Band campaign. And there's more to come. So that includes zucchini races, as well as joining up with Seaville and Catholic Community Services for their Fun Friday events in July, as well as even recruiting Act Now volunteers from the center to participate at the Ironman this year. And also other events. So lots of opportunities for even SCAC members to come out and to join us. If you have a neighborhood park that you recognize in your neighborhood and you'd like to invite the WOW Band to come out with programming, please let us know. Our dance card isn't that full, and we would sure love to be able to partner with you. And finally, just really want to recognize Dale Turner. Dale has been our Canine Corps coordinator since that program's inception in 2019. He's completed his tenure with us at the end of May. During his time, Dale recruited, assessed, trained, and placed 15 nursing dog teams. He worked with us.
Cutting out again.
Captions, closed captions on your screen.
Okay, where's that?
One of it should be.
Okay. There.
Want to make sure I'm showing them there too. Okay.
All right. So in any event, we just wanted to take this moment to recognize Dale for his good work and his time with us. And more to come. Thank you.
Hmm.
We'll continue utilizing the volunteer workforce that's in place. And so the good work that he has established will continue. We just won't have the funding for that position was a gift, and that has ended.
Oh.
So Dale was in a funded position then, is what you're saying?
A grant-funded position through our nonprofit, not through the
Okay.
state. That
Got
was
it.
a 1-year grant, and then a 2-year grant, and then COVID was so hard. Our grantor said, you know what? I'm gonna keep funding it so that when we get done with COVID, we still can move forward with the program. And so then we were able to renew it for 2 more years. So a 1-year program actually ended up being 5 years. So we've been very lucky from the generosity of our donor. But this is the conclusion that we know it will continue because we have some dedicated volunteers. And we also have Janice that works here for the center that is a dog lover and a dog trainer, and she has some skills to keeping it going.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Part of the captioning stops when we can't hear.
That's all I said.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to go get Bonnie? Okay. So we're gonna do an exchange. Bring Bonnie in. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Well, while she's getting Bonnie, I'm gonna start giving my report. I think last month I did share that the center was recognized by the National Council on Aging, National Institute of Senior Centers. Our Wellness on Wheels program was recognized for the Program of Excellence Award. And what I found out, we are one of 7 senior centers recognized in the country. So it was even a bigger award than I realized. I knew it was cool, but then they said, well, we only give it to 7 a year, and there's 11,000 senior centers. That made it really sound cool. So I'm very proud, and I want to thank Heidi Miller and our staff that have been working the WOW Van, the concept of it, taking an idea and growing it, keeping it going during COVID. We were particularly recognized for using the mobile senior center concept.
Wow.
That's things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, like taking.
Can we pitch that to both the Salem Reporter and the Statesman Journal to see if we can get it?
And we're pitched.
Okay.
Also start singing some short snippets of what we accomplished in our Facebook postings too. So you'll see some things going on. We're also putting forward to council a proclamation to
Good.
see if a proclamation or recognition of this award. So more to come. It'll be one of those things that if it gets put on the agenda, then I'm going to be sending out a message to everybody. Hey, in a week, we get to be at the council floor. Please come if you can. So we'll know more soon. This whole budget and some very sensitive topics have consumed the last couple of weeks. And it just didn't seem appropriate for us to just jump in there with, hey, look at us in our WOW Van, when there was some very serious conversations happening. I feel that we're kind of moving towards a time where it might fit nicely. And so I will keep you abreast of that. We received notice that the center will be receiving $200,000 in a pledge to support a full-time volunteer coordinator for a period of 2 years. So $100,000 per year will go towards hiring and employing a full-time volunteer coordinator. I don't know if you all realize that we have 445 volunteers, but we actually don't have a volunteer coordinator. We actually have not had a volunteer coordinator since 2009. Person plus process applications between 16 and 20. answer.
Mm.
Throw a person into a position, and it is very hard to manage 425 volunteers efficiently and effectively. We don't really have any one designated. We're all taking itty bitty pieces of it, and that can be pretty clunky. So, we are in the limbo of the city giving me permission to accept the money and employ that person. Now the question will be, when will that happen? And so we're trying to squeeze that in this. For us to do what we're doing. Utilize the time and talents of our older adults. Fire. And
Marilyn, hold on. Marilyn, we lost a lot of what you said, and I think what's happening is when your volume goes out, the teleprompter, for the closed captioning doesn't work either. So I just want to clarify a couple things that I think you may have covered. So this donation, is that a private donation?
it is a private donation.
Okay. And you can't move forward with that hire until the city gives you approval, is what I think I heard you say. I'm kind of
That is
trying to read your
correct.
lips. Okay. Okay. And I'm not sure what else you said beyond that. But those seem to be two important pieces that I wanted to know. So
The last of it is just to be efficient and effective in utilizing volunteers, we have to have some professional support. And this position, we're just buying time. It's not going to be permanent, but having 2 years to demonstrate how much better it can be and how we can serve Salem greater, and that we haven't even scratched the surface on what we can really do with engaging seniors and volunteering here at Center 50 Plus and volunteering out in the community. So that's what we're going to demonstrate. And we're excited. You probably have read the paper, so you know I am not going to get any new positions unless I show that I am paying for it in a different way with outside sources and money. So anything I want to try here, I have to show somebody else paying for it beyond City of Salem General Fund.
So
And
does that money go to the city, or does that money go to Friends?
It goes to Friends, and then Friends provides it to the city in their annual donation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that count as part of the amount that we're required to raise each year, or is that above that since it's designated
yeah.
for a certain thing?
It's above and beyond.
Okay.
That's why the budget adjustment has to happen. Everything needs to, I need my budget authority increased and my revenue target increased. All of it has to match up.
well,
Perfect.
that's fantastic news.
It is.
So, and I'm hoping too that with maybe the help of Alvin or whoever, that this also can be a system that's easily accessed, whether in person or virtually. So people, volunteers can log their hours and sign up, and it's fabulous. So that's great news.
Our volunteer program, we have a system.
Mm-hmm.
This person will help us use it.
There you go.
Yeah. A couple of other things, I did have the question of, hey, you have a $400,000 budget change. How does that impact the center? And I know we've talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to go through that with you. We have reduced our spending by 200,000. And that is the money that was set aside to add programs, to expand partnerships with our instructors. So it is our program development, design, and expansion fund. So 200,000 from the top is cut, and we're going to hold the line. The only way we can add a new program is if I cut something first. And so we are in an evaluation of every program. How much time does it take? What is the return on investment? Is it a program that has the core elements in it? A volunteer supporting it, a corporate business sponsor paying for it, and a long-term plan to keep it going. If it's missing one of those components, we're looking at it and we're saying, hey, is this one of those items that we could do better with? If we only have so much time and dollars, could we do better? And that's what we're doing program by program right now. Then the other 200,000 is the center has to raise an additional $200,000 a year. And so we'll be up, I think it means that we're going to be about 650,000 a year that we're going to need to raise. And that is between our fees, our fundraising events, our corporate donors, our friends organization, and the businesses they run. There's many things. But the things that we're going to be doing immediately is we have reduced, I'll mention that. We have evaluated our program fees. And one of the things we have noted is 40% of the center of our 13,000 folks, 40% of them do not live in Salem. So they actually do not pay their taxes from their property taxes are not coming to Center 50 Plus. So we are going to be implementing beginning in July, but really effective September, an in-city, out-of-city fee structure. What that looks like is if you look in our program guide, in-city fee is 1. If you live outside of the city, that class is 20% more. The option, though, is being offered if you are one that you're like, I don't want to mess with 20% every time I come to the center. I would rather just join Center 50 Plus and be considered an in-city resident. That is $30 a year. So you would join Center 50 Plus, and then you would pay the same fee structure as a Salem resident. Now, looking in comparison to other memberships, $30 a year is still very small. Most other memberships are $30 to $65, $70 a month.
Ooh.
Of that. And then that will allow people to just be a Salem resident according to Center 50 Plus. There is a model at the library already for that. This is a very common program around the country. This is not uncommon. And so we will be implementing that. That we believe our estimate is that will increase revenue by about $70,000. Just that small adjustment. That does not include the 20% change if you do not join the center. So we know that it is 70,000 and more. So in my mind, I will tell you in my budgeting, I'm anticipating $100,000 from the in-city, out-of-city adjustments. Again, these are estimates. As far as scholarships or fee waivers, we are addressing any burden or barrier to any fee changes by still offering a fee waiver. I will tell you though, fee waivers are for people that are either resident or have joined the center as a resident. That is the one thing that will be something we have to. Let's try more.
Marilyn, no volume from you.
Just dropped.
Oh,
So that's, I
no.
I'm reading the prompter. I think the last thing is that, does anybody have any questions about the in-city, out-of-city fee process? The other is, even though we have to cut about 200,000 in expenses, one way we're doing that without having to cut into positions or major program areas is that we're just looking at our days and times and trying to be as efficient as possible. So beginning this month, we are only open at the center on Saturdays, the second and fourth Saturday. We're taking all the groups that like to meet here on Saturdays, and we're asking them to squeeze into those 2 days so that we have really full, robust activity here on those days, justifying the opening and cost to a lot more groups.
It's a good question.
We have a few groups that are inconsistent. And so this is us putting pressure on lapidary, wood shop, pool room, exercise room. It's putting pressure for people to be more consistent because we can't open up the whole building for 3 people. We're just not going to do it. And so now people understand the seriousness of it. When they say, I'm going to come, I'm going to be in the lapidary, they're going to show up. We're hoping that that improves. One other thing is we will open if there's a rental. If someone has rented for a birthday, any of those kind of gatherings, we have a fee structure that makes that possible. Where we struggle is when we open up our first.
Sorry, Marilyn, lost a lot of that one.
no.
My reading is what I said, so we're good.
Okay.
The transcript we see doesn't include the volume we lost.
Okay.
So basically, a minute ago, that whole 30 seconds or so that you spoke, none of it's in my transcript and I couldn't hear it.
Did you hear that we're reducing hours on Saturdays?
Yes.
Okay,
but not much of it.
so on Saturdays, we're only open 2 Saturdays a month. We made that decision to be as efficient as possible. We will still open for rentals because we have a fee structure for that. All right, I do not, does anybody have questions regarding the reductions or the increase in revenue that we have been tasked with?
Does not appear to be anyone with questions.
Okay, I'd like Bonnie. We'll give Bonnie a chance. Maybe her voice will be picked up.
Okay, well, we'll give it a go here. I'll try to speak, I don't know, a little differently, I'm not sure. But I think all in all, I just want to say lifelong learning for May was lovely. We did a culinary class for Cinco de Mayo, and we had 12 students in attendance for the Poblano Chiles Relleno class. And those culinary classes seem to do really well. So we're gonna pull staff together for the month of July. And I invite all of you to attend our favorite summer recipe class on Tuesday, July 9th, here at the center at 2 o'clock. And we'll be joined with family or friends of ours, bringing you some summer favorites. So mark that day on your calendar. We are going to have a lovely time with another culinary class. 37 students in attendance for our last Master Gardener gardening class. And that was nice to see. I think we'll move forward with that again next fall, highlighting the Master Gardeners again. Again, talking with Marilyn, those are classes that we know are volunteer led, that do well. So we'll just stick with that and know that that will bring in some income for us. Acrylic painting, attendance was 6 students for acrylics, but we're moving into watercolor for the summer, and that will do really well. We already have 6 students for that course coming up. Again, our arts and craft classes do well for us here. Taking on one of the Saturdays that we're going to be open will be a acrylic pouring class. And again, that is volunteer led with an instructor, April DeGell. We were able to get out with our freshman and sophomore cohorts, and it was more of a history bus trip for the freshmen to Butteville, and then to the Nivelle Pioneer Village in Champoeg Park. And then for our sophomores, we went out to the City of Independence and got to visit with Director Sean Irvine, the Economic Development Director there. And again, sophomores are learning more of the city, the state, and what Oregon has to offer and how they can be a part of joining in on their own. So that was a wonderful sophomore trip in May.
Can you hear Bonnie?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think it matters where you sit.
Did anybody see a difference midway through hers?
No.
She was, we heard her, I heard her the whole way through.
So
Yeah,
we're both right under the microphone. It's so weird.
I am close.
Well, we'll just keep putting in the complaint list. Okay. I want to just, thank you, Bonnie. Couple of things. July, we are doing a program called Let's Dance. It's going to be with the 3 senior centers, South Salem seniors, Kaiser area seniors, and Center 50 Plus. Our event is at the Jerry Frank Amphitheater on July 14th. That's a Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. It's a sock hop with a DJ. It's $5 to get in, and the proceeds go to Alzheimer's Association, Boys and Girls Club, and Center for Hope and Safety. It's very exciting to work with all the centers in town to put this event on together. We're going to do 3 sock hops, but we begin on July 14th. I will send out the electronic version of the poster, but if you want to put up a poster in your place of employment, I have really cute posters. The other is the Boots Scoot and Brew. Please put it on your calendar for Friday, September 6th. It is at the Jerry Frank Amphitheater. It runs, doors open at 3:30. Music runs from 4 to 9 p.m. And we will be doing shuttling from Center 50 Plus with our shuttle every hour for the entire evening. We have amazing food trucks, wonderful adult beverage trucks, fantastic bands. It's going to be the best ever. But here is the inside scoop. From June 1st through the 15th, it is buy one, get one free. So 2 people get in for $10. We actually lowered the price of the entry from 15 to 10, and now we're offering a buy one, get one. So you can go to Friends of Center 50 Plus, or you can come to Center 50 Plus between now and the 15th of June and pick up your buy one, get one free tickets. If you're a business and you would like to have a table at the event, you can, it's just $250 and you bring your own pop-up. It will be well worth your time to be in the vendor space. This is going to be the biggest and best one we've ever had. So if you miss it, you're going to be so sad. So put it on your calendar. This summer, we are not slowing down. We are busy. Yesterday was a little quiet, but beyond that, we're getting complaints about our parking, which is always a great sign that we're busy. Classes are full, and trip program is full. We're doing boot camp for the brain. That is going to be the last week of July. We're going from Florence down to Klamath, California to the Redwoods. It's 3 nights, 4 days of education, sightseeing, amazing food, and you name it. We will start here on Monday, July 29th at 8 a.m. with a learning time with Dr. Robert Winningham. That is open to everyone. Come have breakfast, listen to a general overview of brain health. And then if you're one of the 27 people going on the trip with me, we run right out the front door, catch a bus, and we're gone for 3 nights, 4 days. I have 8 spots open on my brain camp tour. So if you know of anyone that would like to go, it's a wonderful trip and you will have a wonderful time. And that is it for my report.
okay. Thank you, Marilyn. Is there anything else for this meeting to be discussed? All right. So we will not have a meeting in July, and we will be notified of the date of the annual meeting in August. Can I hear a motion to dismiss this meeting? Please.
I move we move to dismiss the meeting.
Okay, and
I'll
second
second.
by David. That meeting, that movement was from Bonnie. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. We'll see you in August, and the meeting is terminated. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
And
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
okay. All right. Bye-bye.